Hello and welcome to this week's Futcast. Now, I know what many of you thought that sounded like last week, but it's not. It's Futcast. It's FIFA Ultimate Team. And talking of FIFA Ultimate Team, we haven't got Chew here today because he's rather inconveniently decided to go off on holiday. We've got someone else, a new person, a special guest.
Hi there.
Who are you?
I'm Essen Nanji. I'm the Football Live Team producer.
You're the new Christoph.
Sort of, only without the funny accent.
Yeah, without being French,
yes.
which is good because it means we get to understand your thought processes, which are a bit more sensible and linear than say Christoph's.
Well, he was frequently distracted at all times by, I don't know, French things. It just never worked out.
Every now and then he'd stop in the middle of a meeting and start eating onion soup, and you'd go, "Why are you doing that? We're talking about Ultimate Team and various clever things." And anyway, we're only besmirching his character because he's not here. But
it's easy, and because it's easy,
yeah, and he won't understand any of the jokes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you sit right at the heart of the people who come up with things like this, the Team of the Week,
I suppose,
and all that.
Yeah.
You're making the decisions. Because what happens to me is, as a community manager, I'm sort of forward-facing, is that whenever we bring out the Team of the Week and the Team of the Year, I just get all the hate. Because we haven't included Heskey, or we haven't included whoever. But actually, it's your fault. Everybody, it's his fault.
I accept the blame for this. This is, in a way, true, I suppose, but not entirely. But I'll let you take the blame for it because you get paid to do that, and I get paid to do the Team of the Week.
Fair enough. Okay, so... Anyway, that is Asan, and he's joining us for this week's episode, I suppose, and you can't hide anymore.
No.
You're now public. You've been outed. So what have we got this week? We've got the Team of the Week, as ever, and then after that we've got a bit of an insert, a pleasurable piece of inserted joy. I couldn't think of any better adjectives than that. But anyway, it comes from a guy, a guy who you may be familiar with. He calls himself Air Japes. He's big on YouTube. His real name is John Paul Pilat, of course, by the way. He's given us something that he calls a hybridism. Now, if you've seen his channel before, you'll know what a hybridism is. If you haven't seen his channel before, we heartily recommend that you click the link and go and check it out. He's going to have something for us to look at. And then after that, we'll bring you the second European Team of the Year.
Woo!
Yeah, which includes players from Italy,
France,
and Portugal.
Yes, that's true.
Not Spain, though, Asan. What's going on?
Well, the thing is, with Spain, they've got so many great players, we're giving them their own Team of the Year. They have enough teams, they have enough players that need to be featured on their own for some of the most ridiculous performances we've seen in a long time. There's going to be some very familiar faces in that particular edition. More
on that nearer the time. We're not going to tell you exactly... Yeah. Probably because we don't know yet, but it's we'll know, but we're not going to tell you
exactly.
But we will tell you a bit further down the line. Now let's rock on and do Team of the Week, shall we? Beginning with this dude,
Oswaldo Sanchez from Santos Laguna, veteran goalkeeper. He was magnificent against Monterrey this weekend. Pulled out multiple great saves.
Cool.
Then we had Angelo Ogbonna, my favorite name from this week's Team of the Week.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I think I'm going to challenge you with a different name shortly. Anyway, he plays for Torino, and he's very good and all that. So
yeah, he was quite good. Danny Califf is next from Chivas. He had an impressive debut.
Philadelphia Union, which it says on his logo there.
I don't know why that's the case. Because I'm reading the form where my assistant producer screwed up.
Yes.
So I will be burning him later.
Okay, well, we can look forward to that internally. If you're lucky, we might make a YouTube video of the burning.
Ruben Yttergård Jensen from Tromsø Il.
I wouldn't have even tried to pronounce that, but well done.
I'm very brave.
Yeah.
Followed by Thiago Motta from
Paris
Saint-Germain with another lovely performance.
Yeah. Now, this is the name I was thinking. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry. It skipped straight up to John Utaka. We'll get to him in a minute.
Yeah, from Montpellier, he scored 2 goals this weekend against Auxerre. Not an easy thing to do.
This guy.
This guy, Razvan Kolkis.
So, what's his name again? Sorry?
I'm not going to say it the way I think it's going to be pronounced because I know you will make fun of me. So.
Do you know what? If you look at his eyes, he has... people have made fun out of him a lot, haven't they? And he's a bit exasperated by it. He's going, "Oh, come on." Yeah. Well, how do you pronounce? Anyway, his name is pronounced like what you just said.
Yes.
And he plays in Russia. for Rostov. We'll rapidly move on.
Yes, it's probably for the best. Dimitri Payet had a great day. He didn't score, but he was excellent against Nancy. He had 2 assists and won a penalty in the 4-1 win there. Dwayne De Rosario. This is one of my favorite players until he fled my hometown Toronto FC team. And by fled I mean was exiled to Washington, where he proceeded to become the best player in the MLS.
Was he no good for Toronto then?
No, he was good for Toronto, but apparently Toronto was no good for him. I'm not sure. There was some back-end drama there. I don't know. I try to ignore it, but it hurt me when he left because he was the only person who ever did anything interesting in Toronto.
Okay.
But he had 2 goals and he dazzled for DC United this week as they saw off Toronto 3-1.
They did.
They did.
Do you know what's more dazzling, though?
What's that?
This man's hair.
This man's hair is fantastic. I wish I had his headband and his very well-manicured eyebrows.
You know what the story is behind this photo?
What's the story?
He was down the salon having his do done, and he got home and looked in the mirror, and his missus took the picture at that very moment. He was a bit surprised.
He seems a bit surprised. What's happening here? He did score the winner against Nadal this week, so...
He did.
Sondal.
And finally, in our starting lineup, we have Benny McCarthy.
Of the Orlando Pirates. He had 2 goals this weekend against the Golden Arrows. Secured the title.
Indeed. So we all know him for his time in the Premier League, of course, but he's now down in South Africa doing rather well. So on to the subs bench.
Agustin. Isn't there normally a U between the A and the G?
Could be your assistant producer.
It could be my assistant producer.
Now what should we do as well as burn him?
Tase him?
And then burn him.
And then burn him.
This is going to be the best YouTube video ever.
It's going to be fantastic. For Boca Juniors, kept a clean sheet against Racing Club. And kept them first place in the table as well.
Oh, well, that's nice. Now, this guy is not that. It says Verdu Nicholas here. His name is actually Toshe.
Yeah, scored the only goal against AEK, so they qualified for the Champions League qualifying round, so good for him.
That was a big performance.
Yeah, we'll see him next year for 1 game in the qualifying round.
That's very cynical.
It's very cynical.
They could win it. You never know. People from Greece need some good news, don't they?
They need some, but they need...
anything.
Anything. Yeah. Okay, you know what? No, I take that back. Panathinaikos, Champions League, 2013 champions. You heard it here first.
I like Panathinaikos, mainly because I spent quite a long time a couple of years ago figuring out how to say it fluently, and I've got it now, Panathinaikos.
That's fantastic.
It's brilliant.
Well done.
It takes a little while to learn. But yeah, poor old Greeks, they've got nothing to look forward to at the moment, apart from, they lit the Olympic torch the other day, and of course as soon as they've done that, it leaves. They've got nothing.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Well, I guess they didn't want to pay the taxes on the gas for the Olympic fire. I don't even know how they're powering that thing anymore.
They handed over this lovely... probably quite weighty chunk of golden stuff, and literally someone just grabbed it and started running. It's harsh.
That sounds pretty Greek, though.
yeah. I guess they've been doing that for a few thousand years, haven't they? Anyway, sorry.
Shetidan Diabate.
Yes, him.
I have no idea if I said that correctly, but he did have 2 goals with 2 headers, and he gave an assist. So he had a good week.
Yes, he did. Immobile.
The worst name for a player in a sport where you need to move ever.
He should be a fisherman.
He should be a fisherman, or he should be a statue maker.
Yeah,
making statues, carving something. I don't know, but he did have he did have the second goal deciding encounter against Sampdoria, which meant that Pescara got to move up to Syria for next year.
Yeah, another big game for that guy. Yeah. It's Veritic.
Alsads Veritic. He had a solid defensive performance, clean sheet, and he had an assist for the BSC Young Boys.
That's a Swiss team, as we all know, from Champions League. Was it this year or last year? I can't remember.
I think it was last year.
They had a bit of a good run anyway. It was it Arsenal they played? I can't remember. Anyway.
Yeah. Jason McGuinness, solid back for Rovers. Impressive 3-0 win over Shells in the Irish League. And then Krosas Luke.
Yes, Krosas Luke. Although, actually, we call him Mark.
Yeah.
Mark Krosas. Anyway, plays for Santos Laguna. Yes, and he's doing quite well there. And that rounds out our team of the week for this week.
Yay.
Yeah, right now, before we move on to the team of the year, which we know is the only thing that you really want to know about, which is why we are deliberately prevaricating and not showing it to you immediately, because we want to get, better retention metrics on our YouTube videos.
Exactly. People watch this video past this point.
Although, to be honest, we've got no reason to do that because we don't put adverts on our videos.
That's a very good point.
Maybe we should start.
It's because we're classy. We want to do it purely for the football.
Yeah, it's all about the football.
Exactly.
You know, someone else who's all about the football, just to try and conjure up a segue, Jean-Paul Pilat, a.k.a. Air Japes, him of YouTube fame, he has sent us over this, and we think you should watch it right now.
What is going on, Footcast? My name is Japes, Air Japes FIFA, as I'm called on YouTube. Quick little episode of hybridism. Here's something that I do every so often on my channel. It's a Palmeiras Olympiacos hybrid squad running through the team real quick. We've got Giannis Fetfadsidis in that striker position, 5-star skills, and next to him, the Brazilian Maicon Leite, also 5-star skills, the second in form Morales, and he will be highlighted in this episode. What an incredible player he is. Across the midfield, we've got Ibagaza, Jean McCoon, and Marco Arroyo. In the back, we've got Holibus, Marcano, Thiago Heleno, Cicinho, and Diola in net. But some nice work here from Maicon Leite, breaking free. He has a brilliant shot on him. He is well worth every coin that I paid for him. I think with the recent drop in prices on the market, you'll be able to get him for somewhere around 100,000 coins, which can be quite steep for just a regular old silver. 74 overall he is though, but the 5-star skill right wing option is nothing to complain about there. We're moving on though, and he and Morales were just absolute threats from the wings, and their combo play here, diving header for Morales, puts it in the back of the net. What a season the Belgian has had in Greece. He's played absolutely incredibly and well deserved the second in form card. I believe he got it for scoring 4 or 5 goals in one single match. He's got 90 pace, 91 shooting, which makes him an absolute monster to try to deal with. I think his stats are supposed to be kind of on par with Ronaldo, and for maybe 30,000 coins or so, you can pick him up and have him easily. Fit him into a nice little Belgian hybrid, or fit him in with some Liga do Brazil players and other Olympiacos players, just like this squad set up for. But brilliant work from him. Check out this hybridism. They are absolutely incredible to play with. You've got the pacey players up top that you sometimes need to be able to be most effective on Ultimate Team. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. Enjoy the rest of the Footcast. My name is Japes, and I will catch you all next time.
Jean-Paul Air Japes Pilat. He's on YouTube, and you should go and watch his stuff because it's very entertaining and fun, and he's also a very nice man.
Very nice. The nicest I've heard.
Yeah.
Nicer than you.
Well, thank you very much. That's just really harsh.
Was an insult.
That took me aback, and now I'm not sure I can carry on.
You'll be fine. Look at all the pretty blue cards. They'll get you through this.
He's not that nice, by the way. He came up here to see a certain game that we might be making, and he could have been nicer. No, actually, I'm trying to make myself look good now. No, he's very nice, and he deserves you to go and have a look at his channel and to subscribe and all that sort of stuff that helps him out, because he puts a lot of effort into his videos, and we'd like to see more of them. Now, Team of the Year, that's what people actually want to see, really.
Yes.
So let's just get straight into it, because it's quite good. And we start with this man.
Gianluigi Buffon, best goalie in Syria, in my opinion, hands down. Probably one of the best goalies in the world for the last several years, I would argue. And great success and great story for Juve to get back to the top of the Syria.
Yeah.
And he stuck through them all throughout, and that's credit to him.
Absolutely. And a 90 rating would reflect that.
Yeah. Chiellini, his main defensive captain, obviously was another monster, one of the 3 towers in Juve. He was exceptional all throughout. His stats here are fantastic. 95 defending, 94 heading. You are not getting past this man if he's in your back line. And you're definitely not getting past this man. Thiago Silva, arguably the best defender in Syria. He was easily the best defender in the first half and performed very well in the second half as well. Amazing stats. 86 pace, 97 defending, 95 heading. Good luck winning an air ball against him.
That's ridiculous.
He is ridiculous. Do you see him playing in Milan next year?
I don't know.
But the rumors are starting here right now.
Are they?
Yeah.
I was going to say, the reason I say I don't know is because I haven't heard any rumours about him. but maybe I've been looking in the wrong place.
You might have been looking in the wrong place. Apparently, another player and him in our Team of the Year are on their way to City. But then again, who isn't on their way to City right now?
They're going to have a squad of hundreds, and there won't be any teams left
exactly
to compete against, so they'll just win by default.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on, Henry Benimo-Nassam, playing for Montpellier in France, had an amazing season. He was easily the best player for Montpellier, in my opinion. He had a great year. Only person I could argue had a better year is someone else in our Team of the Year. We'll see them very shortly, I believe. Pirlo, what a comeback story for Juve this season. Everybody thought he was finished. He came back strong. 3 goals, 13 assists, arguably one of the best midfield generals in Syria this year. 95 passing shows just how he can control that game. Mavuba, Rio Antonio Mavuba from Lille. He was definitely amazing. Very smart player, great in the midfield, and definitely linking it up for his forwards.
And 86 is not bad.
Not bad at all. 88, Yunus Belhanda, arguably the discussion for best player for Montpellier. Had the goal of the season against Marseille, and if you haven't seen it, I suggest you go on YouTube and search for it right now. Great overall stats, great player to have in your midfield.
Indeed.
Nid Carvalho, amazing year. He was an informed player in 4 times this year. So his 91 rating is well deserved. His stats, if you look at those offensive stats, pace, shooting, passing, dribbling, all 90 plus, he is going to be a beast in anyone's midfield.
Unless you're trying to head it.
Unless you're trying to head it. In that case, good luck. Because that's not going to go so well for you. Might go a little bit better with Hulk, who had a huge year for Porto, became probably their best goal scorer ever at the Estadio de Dragao for Porto. 16 goals, 10 assists. Great year for him. He'll definitely be in the Premier League next year, I think.
I suspect you might be right.
Yeah. Eden Hazard. Well, this guy's definitely going to be in the Premier League, but apparently...
You would think.
Where do I think he's going to go?
I said you would think.
Oh, you would
but
think.
Where do you think?
Where do I think he's going to go? Right now, my money is on Man United.
You think he'll go to United?
The reason I think he's going to go to United is because I don't see him being the kind of person who's going to fight for a position. So unless City gets rid of Tevez and Balotelli, he's not going to walk into the starting lineup, and I don't think he's interested in fighting for space.
But it's okay, because whatever happens, he'll be able to look back on his place in our Team of the Year and be happy about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, chin up.
Yeah. Now, this man who definitely earns his place in every Team of the Year, I think. Ibra, what a season. 28 goals, 9 assists. The first time, I think, in 9 years he hasn't won the league championship? Unbelievable.
It's just nuts, isn't it?
It's nuts. And he's going to win every header from an offensive standpoint. And everything he shoots is going to go in. So he'd definitely be the best striker you could have in your...
Yeah, you want to get him, really.
No, it's going to be tough to find him. Di Natale, what a season for the old GOAT. I don't know why I just called him a GOAT, but...
That's a bit harsh, isn't it?
It's a bit harsh, but quite frankly, I love the way he plays. He plays like a GOAT. He's angry. He gets in there. He runs for every ball.
And eats everything.
He eats everything. Every ball that comes his way in the box, eats it and puts it in the back of the net. 93 shooting, 90 dribbling. He's fantastic.
And makes great cheese.
Makes amazing cheese. Marquinhos, probably one of the best stories for Juve, I think, because I don't think anybody expected him to be as good as he ended up being. Scored 9, assisted for 4, had a great season for Juve. And Olivier Giroud, top goal scorer, scored for Montpellier. I don't think he gets the season he had without Belhanda feeding him the ball, but what a story to lead League One in scoring this year.
Yeah.
Ezekiel Garay, one of the best center backs in the Liga SRS this season. Lisa and him made a great pair. Well earned playing for Benfica this year.
Benfica. That's a different team. Ladies team.
Still good.
Yeah.
Matthew Deboshi, best right back in League One, arguably. He's been called up for the Euros, and he's going to play against Germany. So, exciting year for him. Could be a breakout player in the Euro, I think.
We shall all see, especially after England go out, and we'll have lots more time to watch other teams play.
Dusan Basta, he was a great player, a little bit of offense mixed in this year for who is normally a defensive player, I think that's my opinion. You can roast me for it online, as I'm sure everyone will. 5 goals, 3 assists, but a good season for him, and he was definitely a fighter for Udinese this year.
And finally,
Steve Alana. Brest had a poor season, but he saved them many, many times. He was probably one of the more consistent players in League One and one of the most consistent goalkeepers for sure.
And an 85 rating would suggest that as well. And he looks like he means it in that photo.
He does look like he means it.
Is someone that you wouldn't go and say bad things to?
No, because he looks like he could destroy me.
Yeah. Well, you're quite small.
I don't think we need to tell people that.
Well, yeah.
Nah.
Now you know. That is our team of the year. That's also our team of the week. You need to rewind to go and watch that again if you're interested. Remember, go and have a look at John's channel.
Yeah.
And come and join us again next week, where we will have more of this sort of thing. But we're not going to tell you what it is yet.
Not at all.
No.
And you'll have Chew back, so it'll be better.
And Chew will be back as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we should just keep you on.
No. Maybe. We'll see. Let the community decide. Let them
noise?
vote. I think it's the phone.
The phone is ringing in the meeting room. Who is it?
It was a strange area code. I didn't recognize it.
Wow, that's amazing. So someone's got hold of this already, and they're trying to call us.
Oh, for sure. We're doing something wrong.
They're calling us from Spain. That's what they're doing. Saying, "Where's our team?" Well, we'll tell you later. In the meantime, make sure you go and tune in for the happy hours and get ready for these guys to drop. That will happen on Wednesday, the 23rd.
Yes.
At the usual time of 6 p.m. UK time.
Yes.
Don't miss out, and don't miss out on next week's podcast. We'll be back at the same time, same place, on YouTube right then. So, see you later.
Cheers.